What's up, everybody? Welcome to Montgomery, Alabama, the state's capital. We're on the east side right now, and we're gonna go for a little ride to show you guys what the capital city of Alabama looks like. The city is in the central part of the state, and it's got kind of a rough reputation. It's not known for being the greatest place to live, but I live in the metropolitan area, and it's been great for me. So let's take a tour and see what it's like out here. We're in kind of like the suburban side. It's most of the suburbs out here. So welcome to Montgomery, Alabama. Man, that Yukon's fresh. Yeah, buddy. Look at the paint. Love Yukons, man. Mine's is just like that one. That's a suburban. Same thing, really. Mine's is a suburban, except for mine's is a little bit newer. For being a large city, the people of Montgomery are really friendly. I'm gonna go to pretty black. I check that out. For being a large city, the people are really friendly. I mean, most cities this size, people kind of start getting rude, but people here are real friendly. For the most part, really friendly. Nobody's really in a rush to get anywhere. It's kind of what I can kind of stands out the most to me about Montgomery. So even though it's a good sized city, for the most part, people are really friendly and kind of kind. They're not in a rush to get anywhere. It's definitely the South. Not about that. Let's go for a ride through some suburban neighborhoods and see what we can find in Montgomery here. So for a suburban drive, I guess. Let's do it. See what it's like out there in the streets of Montgomery. The east side is kind of like the better side of the city. That's where we're at right now. You can see there's a Dreamland barbecue right here. Dreamland barbecue. They're pretty good. They're not as great as some people say it is either. It's a restaurant, Some people swear it's like the greatest thing in the world for barbecue, but I've had better. I really have. Let's go for a ride here. We're on a side view today. Kind of switch it up a little bit. We're gonna be in a nice little residential neighborhood here in a few blocks. Mexican salsitas. It's a nice shopping center over there. Yukon. Lots of Asian stuff here in the city. A lot of Korean and Japanese. Some Chinese. So this is Sturbridge. Let's come up in here and check it out. It's not gated. Kind of odd. Where I lived in Florida, where they say that there's less crime rates, but everything's gated. Not a lot. There's a few gated communities in Montgomery, but for the most part, a lot of stuff ain't gated. This is not gated here. It says no soliciting, so don't come bothering people. Of course, it's not gated. Don't come bothering people. I can kind of switch into here. There's a car behind us, so I can slow down a little bit. For sale by owner here. For sale by owner. So now we're kind of in a suburban part of the city. It's still probably within city limits, but it's got more of a suburban feel. Tiny little houses right up against each other, but they're newer. It's got a real nice neighborhood feel to it. The Gump. I was born and raised in the USA, where a country boy can survive. Country boy can survive. I mean, for me, I wouldn't want to live in a place where my neighbors are this close to me. But hey, for everybody's got different needs, different tastes. You can hear the mockingbirds. There's always a lot of mockingbirds here in Montgomery. They like mockingbirds, like Montgomery. They're everywhere. I go outside my house and just listen to the mockingbirds. There's a ghost town in here. There's like nobody out and about. I don't think. I guess they could park their cars in the back. Okay. Montgomery. Yeah, buddy. So yeah, I mean, this is the east side, you know. Kind of like the suburban side, bougie and all that. It's kind of like suburban, quiet. I know how it goes with the suburban life. Suburban life, you get a suburban wife, you get a Starbucks cup, you get a, I don't know how you make a living. I guess you don't make a living, you just live. I don't know how these millennial people are living nowadays. What, they just YouTube for a living or something? How are millennials living nowadays? I don't know how millennials pay their bills. Make a phone call to Grandpa and say, Grandpa, remember about, I don't know, 40 years ago you made my mom, and 10 years, 20 years down the road she made me? Well, you should have thought about that, 'cause now you got to pay for it. I don't know how millennials live. I always wondered, how do millennials make a living? At least it's not a cookie cutter neighborhood where every house is identical. That is the one thing that I do not like about Florida. It's like every community is like the most cookie cutter place. Every house is identical. People be walking into the wrong house when they get drunk. I thought this was my house. I'm like, no, sir. Our house is 2 houses down. They all look the same, and I've been drinking. I don't know how that works. So here, these are a little bit bigger yards. A little bit bigger yards. Yeah, 2 cars sitting there backwards. I wonder if they don't have tags on them or a Thunderbird. That was the coolest thing you could have had in Tamaulipas 20 years ago. My dad's sighing at me. He's letting me know he doesn't like this place. He's like, oh. You don't like it? These houses are okay. I don't know how you can hear my tires on these asphalt. You can hear the tires spinning. Alright, spinners. Alright, spinners. Suburban places are boring as crap. I don't know, these suburban places are boring. So much peace and tranquility. Nobody's burning a couch on the front lawn or anything like that. For sale right there. If you're looking to buy a house of some sort. I mean, if you need affordability and you come from a very urban place and you want to be around like-minded folks, then this would probably work for you. It's like, maybe a little bit nicer. Look how tall. That's tall right there. I'm not entertained by suburban neighborhoods. It's just a bougie looking type of place. Is it pretty? Yeah. Is it safe? Yeah. Is there anything exciting going on here? To be honest, probably not. Probably nothing exciting going on here. There's no gossip about who got shot during the weekend across the street, or when your husband get out of jail, or none of that. These people just, they're managers at a store or something. There's nothing exciting here. No excitement at all. The cars are gray. The shutters are emerald green. The window trims are white. Everybody's cutting their lawn. Nobody forgot to cut their lawn. Nobody left a car on the grass. Nobody's up at 3 in the morning saying, "Come on, man, give me a beer," on the front lawn. "Come on, Jose, buy me a beer." That's I'm telling you, if you're coming to Alabama, you better end up in one of these little suburban, little Montgomerys or something on the east side. I'm telling you, you ain't ready for that real Alabama. If you're coming from, out of state, you better watch out where you end up. You end up in one of these Montgomerys, one of these Birminghams, one of these Mobiles. Don't end up in no woods out there in the sticks if you ain't ready for it. I'm telling you, it's good for you. It's good for your health to listen. You're gonna wake up one day, it's gonna be a redneck on your front yard. "Come on, Jose, give me a beer. Come on, man. I need a beer." What you gonna do? Better stay up in them suburbs, I'm telling you. Don't move to no country place in Alabama if you ain't ready for it. If you're coming from out of state, just put yourself in one of these suburbs out here in Montgomery. Pike Road on the east side of Montgomery. Don't end up in them backwoods, because it's gonna be a situation you ain't gonna know how to handle, city boy. Not saying you can't move to Alabama. If you want to move to Alabama, move to Alabama. But make sure you find a neighborhood that is according to your personal preferences. Don't move to no little country spot out there, because when you get to that little country town, you don't know what you're getting. You might not speak the same language. You might think you do, but you don't. So I'm just giving you some heads up. If you're moving to Alabama, out here in East Montgomery, a nice little suburb right in Birmingham, maybe a Huntsville or a Madison, maybe even a Prattville. Don't go further than that, because you ain't ready for it. You'll walk outside at 3 in the morning one day. "Come on, man. Give me a beer. Hey, Jose, we killed a deer, and now we need a beer." Telling you, you ain't ready for it. You ain't gonna want to be their neighbors, and they ain't gonna want you to be theirs. Just being real with you. Settle down somewhere bougie, like this. Settle down in the suburbs of one of the bigger cities if you're coming from out of state. I'm telling you. Don't end up in no little country town, because that ain't gonna go good for you. These are some nice suburbs. Real nice suburbs. And Montgomery is, I think there's more African Americans than whites in the whole city. And that includes the nice neighborhoods for people who come from a place that's messed up. Yes, these are nice black areas. Very nice. I wish I could afford to live here. Get them drunk rednecks off my front lawn. So yes, there are nice areas in Alabama. Nice African American areas, yes. This is one of them. I love it out here. I wish I could afford to live out here. I can't afford it. I gotta live out in the sticks. But I'm telling you, if you're moving to Alabama, consider moving to a suburban little bougie place. Don't end up in them little small towns, because it ain't gonna work for you. Word of advice, and I say it because I care about you, the person moving here, because I moved here and I loved it. But if you don't make some changes, the place ain't gonna love you. I'm gonna have to make a video on that subject here soon. Super important topic I need to get out there for you guys. There it is. That's a drive through some really nice areas in Montgomery. But yes, there are very nice suburbs in Montgomery, just like there are in any city this size. It's gonna have good areas and it's gonna have bad areas. And depending on how good your wallet is will determine how good of an area you can land in. If you're broke, you ain't gonna be able to live in a nice area. If you got some money, you can always afford nice neighbors. Who can also afford nice neighbors? Who can also afford nice neighbors? If you're broke, you won't. Alright guys, check it out. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And there it is, a nice drive through suburban Montgomery.